Oh, yeah, people. Oh, yes, people. I think I'm back. I think I'm good. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Shout out to T Greasley. First day out. What it do? What up, though? If you can hear me, please let me know. Man, I'm just too excited. I'm too excited. What up, though, Adam? What up, though, top tier? Pride Time B. What's good, baby? We got James in the building. Bug spray. D Town. Man, oh man, first day out. Yeah. Yeah, I got that email. You should have saw me. You should have saw me. I don't know how to moonwalk, but I did my best moonwalk. All right. Man, let's get into this, people. We're going to have a whole lot of fun today. All right. Starting with the fact that I'm free, people. Luke G is free. Hater House, what up, though? Steven, what up, though? Elk Production, what up, though? Yeah, man, listen. Not only did they free me, they must have put a tether on my leg because the sound wouldn't come through. Technology, man, it will fail you every single time, people. Man, oh man, listen. Listen, today is going to be a little different. First, let me just tell y'all that today at 6 p.m., I will be on JT Sports debating our Detroit Lions with Mr. JT Sports. Make sure you come over there and check it out. It's a link into the community posting so you can see it. D Town, what up, though? D Williams, what up, though? General G Berry, that's right. First day out, man. Let me give y'all some more of that first day out love. Let me give y'all some more of that. Just a little bit. My voice is still trying to come back, people. But today, I can lose it to all together. Why? Because the excitement is that high, people. It's that high. Man, oh man. Man. This is gonna be nice. This is gonna be nice. Um, just because General G Berry asked for it, I'm giving you the first day out. Just for the facts. 313 JMO DSA member. What up, though, man? Welcome, welcome. Man, oh my God. Hey, I'm glad I'm back too, man. This is going to be a day where you guys will control the show. Very similar to how you do on Micro Mike's Subscriber Friday. Man, ask me whatever you want. This is a day to celebrate. This is a day to have fun. This is a day to be cool. You feel me? So ask me whatever you want. I see we starting to get some questions in there. So I'm going to definitely get on top of those because I want to make sure I can address those questions. Man, this is crazy. I don't even know how to act, people. I don't even know how to act. So I guess the best way I can do it is this. You ask a question, I'll answer them. It don't even got to be about football, man. It could just be any general question you would like, and I'm rolling with it. Okay. Some things I'm gonna stay away from because I just don't want the energy to be put into it. But 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna probably answer the question. So whatever you want to ask, feel free. And we can talk about it. So let's start off some of these first questions. Let me take a look at it. It says you sound a little hoarse. I am, man. Yeah, I was pleading my case, and when that email came, I about hit the floor. I did. I was down for 94 days to be exact. 94 days. Don't know why I went 4 days over the 90 period, but I was down for 94 days. Marcus Corlier, thank you, man. I'm glad to be back. Why were you in timeout? I was in timeout because during the NFL draft, when we drafted Jelani Tavai, I did a on-air live film session showing Jelani Tavai and Will Harris. And when I did that, apparently they sent me some type of warning saying, hey, stop showing that or we're going to shut you down. But when you do a share screen On YouTube, you cannot see that message that they post. It's like post in the background somewhere, which is really stupid. And I didn't see the message. So what they did was they killed my feed. And when they killed the feed, the first thing it says was uh, copyright strike community claim, but I never had the strike. So I'm like, what are you talking about? So I look it up, and it was the NCAA, because apparently they were posting the videos of the draft picks as they were getting drafted. And that's what happened. I was essentially taking viewers from them by doing a live film study, and that's why they shut me down for 90 days. Um, it says, I'm not the hacker. I'm not the hacker. What does that mean? I guess. What do you think of the linebackers? I think our linebackers are solid. I think we have a good linebacking core. I mean, I think Tavai is going to be a much welcome surprise for a lot of people. I think Jared Davis is pretty solid. Christian Jones might need a little prayer, but I guess he's serviceable. So I mean, that's it. George Morgan says, no religion, no politics. What's your favorite breakfast food? Hey, definitely no religion, no politics. I'm not going to answer any of that kind of stuff. But yes, in terms of my favorite breakfast food, believe it or not, just plain cereal, Captain Crunch with the Crunch Berries. Your boy Tom Grassi, Green Bay YouTuber, hates that we have signed Mike Daniels. Well, what Tom Grassi said, because I watched the video, Tom Grassi was basically saying like it was already scary enough to worry about the Detroit Lions defense, and now we got to worry about them adding Mike Daniels, and he's worried about Aaron Rodgers' shoulder bone. So, what up, though, Marcus? Any updates on Deshaun Hand? No. I know he went down, but I don't think it's going to be serious. I think they're just being precautionary. But at the end of the day, if it does happen, it is what it is. James says, how much does Mr. Daniels change our defense grade now? It's getting to the point where offense will just scream, blow the whistle, blow the whistle. Mike Daniels definitely changes the grade for me, but the grade has always been about A minus. So to me, if you want to make it a solid A, that works. I think that the Detroit Lions have depth across the board, and so having a guy like Mike Daniels makes sense. And he talked today, explaining why he picked the Detroit Lions and stuff like that. He said that, he's a little league. He played for a little league team, was with the Lions, had the same colors as the Lions, and that he came here essentially just because of Matt Patricia and that he's a genius. So, they said he was dehydrated, or they say, well, dehydration, but I mean, it could have been that, but it could be other stuff, man. It's a lot of weird things that your body do when you don't have the right things. John Martin says, you heard Mike Daniels said Patricia's a genius. I agree. Yeah, I did hear that, man. And it's interesting that so many people are coming here for this head coach. Like, I mean, we've had Steve Mariucci. Who came here for him? Jim Schwartz, Jim Cotwell. Who are these top players or this talent that wants to come here for those people? We haven't seen them. I got 30 people in here. Let's get those likes up, people. First day back. I want to try to get 100% on this. Who would you start in the secondary? My safeties would be Tracy Walker, Quandre Diggs. My cornerbacks would be, if we're doing a nickel package, which I'm pretty sure we're going to be doing, I would go Darius Slay at 1. I personally would go Justin Coleman at the 2 and put Monty Warrior or D4, not D4, D4, Mike Ford in the slot. But I think it's going to go Slay 1, Rashawn Melvin 2, Coleman 3. Let's see. Micro Mike said, let's get those likes up, fellas. DSA is to the top. Absolutely. Let me see what other things I missed. It says, I told them they had 6 wins as well, and we swept them the past 2 years, and that Rodgers played in 3. Yeah, I saw your conversation with that idiot you was in the chat talking to. He was, it's amazing to me how Green Bay Packer fans are. They literally sat up there and was like, yeah, Mike Daniels, the man. They was all upset. Why would you cut him? Why would you cut him? And then as soon as they said he signed the Lions, hey, he was cut for a reason. It's good that he's gone. Well, you know what? Well, I'm glad you feel that way. Okay. I'm glad you feel that way. D-Town says that huge D-line should make our linebackers be better. Absolutely. People don't understand. When I played linebacker, if I had a good defensive line in front of me, it made my job so much easier because I could just shoot gaps, um, do my directing of the defense and stuff like that. It just made it so much easier to get by people. Um, Now, Fame Over Fortune says a new era, the time is on the horizon for us. I believe it is. And it's one of the reasons why from the very moment I've gotten on YouTube, I've talked about getting back to what we did in 1991. I've always been a believer that history is a great teacher if you're willing to pay attention to it. And too often, we have not paid attention to the history. The history is going to tell us everything we need to know. Now, Adam says Walker, Diggs, Slay, Melvin in a minute, Coleman in the slot, Amani, I can take over for Melvin when ready. I believe that. John Martin says, just went to my guy, die hard Green Bay fan up here, and he said he knows we got a good player. Man, anybody who know anything about football know we got a good player. That's why it's kind of hard because if I had my live, I would have went live and explained why the Lions are going to sign Mike Daniels, why they should. And I'll just do it now. One of the reasons I always felt that they should have, that they was going to sign Mike Daniels was he fit the scheme to a T. You wanted a versatile player. He can play the 3 technique. He can play D end, the nose. You can stand him up as an outside rush linebacker, and it creates depth. It's not like he has to come in and have all these snaps. You can just put him in when you feel it. But the biggest part of it was I knew that the added motivation of being able to go against a team who cut you one day as you were packing up and on a flight to go to camp is going to be enough to get him here. And then plus he brings leadership. He has a winning culture in him already. And on top of that, he knows that he'll get on the field here. Now, I know he had all these other offers, but according to him, he had about 13 teams that called him within an hour of being cut. 13 teams. Them his words, not mine. He chose the Lions. What up, though? 1991 Baaaccck. TJ Hawkinson is blocking out of the sun. Man, yeah, they've been TJ has been in rare form, man. He's had a few growing pains against certain people, but for the most part, TJ has been clowning. Micro Mike, you silly man. I see you. It says you see Andre Drummond shooting threes. Yes, and I'm horrified by it. I really am. I know I'm a football channel, but I did say I'm going to answer any question you put in here. I don't want to see Andre Drummond shooting no threes. In fact, while he's working on a 3-point shot, he need to work on a post game and a mid-range shot for the most part. I ain't got time to be playing with Andre Drummond being way out there at the 3-point line. That is a joke. That's the equivalent to taking Yao Ming when you know he's the tallest person out there and saying, hey, we want you to shoot threes. No, go do what you're supposed to do. Making all kinds of gains. What's up, man? What up, though? Yeah, I'm out the pen, man. TJ injured, Brian. Let me see. Like I said, he would be the starter. I still think it's going to be Jesse James, J-Mo. I think it's going to be Jesse James. It says, seemed like this year for the teams to win their first title, do you think the Lions can accomplish it? I do. I think the Lions can accomplish it, but they have to be able to commit to the run. And then the run has to set up the play action. And then the play action has to be ran appropriately. You can't have people running the wrong routes. That's inappropriate. That's not going to make sense. Those TJ numbers about to go through the roof. I'm thinking 8 touchdowns. Oh, he going to get his targets, especially when we get to the red zone. You can believe that. You're going to see a whole lot of big sacks when we get big sets when we get into the red zone. So off the chain, that's the least of it. Let me see. Make sure I can grab the ones I can grab. Tight ends don't usually wreck shop early in their career. Hawk may be a freak of nature. Well, in general, what the problem was is this: 1991 Baaaccck. And please excuse the voice. What the problem is most of the tight ends who came out originally came out of spread offenses. They wasn't asked to put their hand in the dirt. They wasn't really asked to block. They was asked to get in people's way. And the way the system was ran, it was ran for them to get out. That's why you kind of see a lot of scoring in college than you do in the NFL. The job assignments are a whole lot different. And so that's what I look at. Blue and Silver Phantom, what else? He said, congratulations on getting your live stream back, but don't lose your voice before the season. We don't need any scars. Man, you ain't joking. I got something brewing up, man, that my girl is making for me for my voice, and I'm excited about it. First black man on the net says, real hype to see Nick Baldwin, the forgotten one. You ain't lying, because he's going to be a big part of the run game. We're going to have a traditional fullback, a real fullback, not just no average Joe fullback, but a real fullback. Now, I got 41 people in here. I got 21 thumbs up. Give me some more energy, some more love. I was going to do the phone lines, but as you can see, they was trying to shut me down with all the extra tact and stuff. So I said, forget it. I'll just go from the chat and we'll go from there because I can just talk the football. Now, Adam says Baldwin opened up a big a-hole. Yeah, listen, if I didn't go to none of the training camps, man, work is one of those things that's against it, and it doesn't work. Sip Trop Media say, yeah, they kept Baldwin for a reason. Man, yes, because he's literally a power back with the ability to block. So you better keep him. Absolutely. Yeah, then he went. He did his thing, man. He ain't gonna get me no. So now let me see. Fortune over fame says run is a huge ingredient to the pot. It is. Anytime you are trying to, I put it this way. Here's a little homework assignment. If you just go back and you look at the Super Bowl winning teams, look at how they started running the ball in the months of late October, all of November, December, all the way up to the Super Bowl, and look at the teams who won the Super Bowl. They were consistent in running that ball. It has been that way for over 21 years. Everybody forget that the greatest show on turf lost a game that they shouldn't have lost, and it was because they got away from the run. Let's see. Adam says he also noticed that he has been catching some passes actually out of the backfield. That's good to know. First black man on the net says he was responsible for Rashard Penny and that other guy getting NCAA running championships. Man, listen, he didn't care. He didn't care, and I hope he can be here for a long time because fullbacks usually don't cost a lot of money. It says run the ball. Yep, run. Yeah, you got to run the ball. Sip Trop Media, man. It says going back to work. I'll catch the rest of the vid later, man. One love, Luke, man. Support, man. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to Sip Trop Media, man. It is in the chat. Micro Mike says TJ's movement makes sports considered to network. Yeah, true. If Matthew Stafford retired, who would you pick as your next quarterback in the draft? I actually got a video coming out about that. But since that I think the Lions are going to be picking kind of late, it depends. If J-Mo, if we're taking Trevor Lawrence, then that means we're picking too high. And that's a concern for me. That's a super concern for me. It says no super chat. You know what? I tried to set all that stuff up, but the truth is I stand away from the super chat for right now, just simply because I want to be able to give you guys pure football. I'll set up something eventually, but for right now, I just want to be able to talk to football fans who love football and who love the Detroit Lions. So I didn't set up the super chat, but I do appreciate it. Detroit Drew, another DSA member, he says, hey, Luke is free. Yes, free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty. Luke G is free at last. It says if Stafford retires, we'll be picking high. Well, he ain't retiring this year, so we good. we good with that. But trust and believe, I'll probably set the super chat up later on this week. Got a lot going on with work. In case y'all didn't know, Just I have a very high stress job, so it's very demanding and often takes a lot of hours. So that's what that is. Staff ain't going nowhere. No, he ain't. He absolutely not. Um, Let me see who else we got in here. You know what else I thought about today? Two people. I thought about this thing and if you look at the Detroit Lions, okay, and you look at how they're going about handling their business, I've came to the conclusion that the Detroit Lions have basically said that this is going to be the year that we begin our run. And when I looked at a stat the other day, it threw me off where they said the New England Patriots have gone 16 seasons straight with 10 wins or more. 16 seasons straight. Okay. They do it one more time and they are breaking the record. So that's crazy. And I think we need to be in that wheelhouse. What up, though, Risky? Risky says, what about Stafford? They were just asking if he retired. I don't think he's going to retire, though. I don't. James Sharp says, no matter how many fish in the sea, it feels so empty without Luke G. Man, hey, I appreciate it, man. Drop one of them buns for you. All day, every day, man. Twice on Sundays. It says, what you all think of the final running back room? I think it's phenomenal. If you look at the running back room right now, you got Kerryon, you got CJ, you got Ty Johnson, you got Zach Zenner. Okay, if you want to add another running back, you could, but I don't think you need to do that unless somebody gets scars. Okay, and if nobody get no scars, there's no reason, in my opinion, to worry about the running back room. But you got patience and Kerryon, you got power and CJ, you got speed and Ty Johnson, and you got commitment and Zach Zenner. And what I mean by commitment is if you went his way and he know he needs 4, he's aiming for the 4. He ain't finna do all the extra stuff of running back and trying to juke. He gonna put his head down and get you the 4. So I think the running back room is phenomenal. And J Mo makes a very good point. He says, don't forget Belichick went 5-11 in his first year. Yeah, our time is now. I mean, yeah, I agree with that. Peter Esho says, are you and Mobby good? Yeah. Yeah, I don't got no problem with Mobby, man. Listen, we're debating sports. Now, what I would never do is get into the whole personal stuff and you're an idiot. No, I ain't doing all that. But if we're debating sports, it's debating sports. Yeah, I'm good with Mobby. I ain't got no problem with him. Let's see. Do you think PJ Johnson makes the team? I've been thinking about this, PJ Johnson. I think PJ Johnson has a chance to make the team, but I know that Bob Quinn has tried to play the game of hide players from practice squad. And PJ Johnson, to me, being a 7th round pick, might be one of those guys that they try to put on practice squad. I'll put him on the bubble as of right now. Ty Johnson has some low-key vision too. Ty Johnson is okay. I've seen some videos where Ty Johnson ran into the back of his own blocker, but again, it wasn't like I seen it a whole lot, so I don't know about that. It said it just seems like it'll be crowded with all the running backs plus Baldwin. Hell, at this point, I'm thinking they're only going to carry 3 receivers. No, they're going to carry 6. They'll carry 6 receivers, 5 at the minimum. And the 4 running backs is not going to seem to be that much. If you just go over to look at the New England Patriots, they had Buck Hawkner, what's the other dude named Ridley? God, they had Sony Michel. They had like 5 or 6 running backs. I mean, there's a lot of them. So no shocker there. Let me see what I meant. Snack says he's still raw. PJ is still raw. I agree with that. Let me see. Now, J Mo don't think that PJ gonna make it because he says with Daniels coming on the team, he going to pre-squad. Again, I told you he on the bubble. For me, this is what they do. They hide those people there and pray nobody see them. Bill Collier says, will the corners hold up under the fact that the team would be less likely to be able to run on us? Yes, because what happens is when you create a team, when you run a defense that makes a team one dimensional, like how the Lions have been for the most of the part, what you'll see is it's easier to tee off on pass rush. Now I can dial up different blitzes, and all the cornerbacks have to do is really use the sideline to their advantage. The safeties will make sure they'll keep the middle of the field locked down. So yeah, I think they will hold up. Um, George Morgan says he thinks PJ might be hitting on a physically unable to perform list. He could be, but then you got to keep reporting stuff, and it's kind of a long process. Let's see. Making all kinds of games says they better not try to put Johnson on people. And listen, I've seen crazier things. James Tanksley says, "What up, Luke G? What up, though?" It says we need 4D tackles. Snacks, Ashawn Daniels, hand. Yeah, yeah, we do. I'll tell you why. If you figure if let's say I come out in a goal line set, right? Obviously, Snacks is in the middle over the center. Next to him, let's say we put Daniels, and then opposite of him, we put, say, Ashawn, and then we put next to him, we put Hand, and then you got whoever you want for the other DN, whatever, right? Who's running against that? Why? The linebacker should be looking for the run, but thinking it's a pass. So who's doing that? So to me, I think that fits the mold of what the Lions are trying to do. Now let's see what we got here. 6 wide receivers, 4 running backs, 1 fullback, and 3 tight ends. Nope, 4 tight ends. They're going to keep 4 tight ends. They're going to, and if and wait, let me take that back. I think Logan Thomas is doing good, but if you think it's Jesse James, TJ Hawkinson, Isaac Nata, Logan will make it if they're going to use Isaac Nata as a second option for fullback. So I can definitely see that happening too with the 3 tight ends. So that sounds about accurate for me. I can see that. How many sacks will you think this defense will get? Based on how Matt Patricia does the blitzing from the linebackers, we should easily be well into the 50s. Easily. I think we had 40 something last year. I'm drawing a blank right now, but it was like 40 something. I got 28 thumbs up, 52 people in the chat. Let's get this thing up, man. And just a quick reminder, I will be debating JT Sports on his channel. Y'all have to watch this. This guy knows his football. I know my football. He says, "Hey, I want to challenge you." I said, "Let's do it." And so we're gonna get it done. Let's see. Max Dad says, I was not impressed with Elvin Kamara's college highlights. I am not impressed with Ty Johnson's highlights. You know, it's funny you say that because when I watched Elvin Kamara's highlights, I wasn't impressed with him neither. But this is where going into the right system and the right scheme makes you look better. Like if you take Elvin Kamara off this team and put him on, say, the Detroit Lions, I don't think you get that same production because it's a little bit different. Plus, people forget Elvin Kamara did a lot of his damage in relief. They had Mark Ingram come in and do some stuff, and then they'll throw in Elvin Kamara. So that's a whole different ballpark, you know. Brian Ellis says, I think 5 receivers, but they did keep 6 last year, I believe. They did. And I think they're going to keep 6 this year because you figure if it's going to be Marvin Jones, Kenny Galladay, Danny Amendola, so we know those 3 are guaranteed to be here. Now the question becomes, who else are you going to keep? They're keeping their draft pick in Travis Fulgham. I just think they're going to keep him. He's a blocking receiver. So we know that's 4. So now it comes down to the next 2. And who are the next 2 to provide some depth for them? Well, for me, those next 2 could easily be Powell or Andy Jones. But I personally think that it's going to be the other Old Dominion receiver, Duhart. I'm terrible with names. So he'll be the 5th, and then they could throw in whoever they want for that 6th receiver spot. But they're not going to play the game with the receivers anymore, even though they're going to be more of a run first team. It says 51 for the return of Luke G's awesome DSA to the top. Absolutely. Motorola says, see, here's the thing. Let's talk, people. Yeah, Motorola has been basically giving me all kind of flack for saying, here's the thing, in all my videos. I personally love it. So it is what it is. Appreciate the love, though. Chris says, "What up, man? What up, though, man? I'm glad to be back. Making all kinds of games." Mackenzie says, "Going to be 5 receivers." Okay, I ain't mad at that. Let's see. It says, DSA has never been so strong. The field general is back. That's from Micro Mike. Make sure y'all subscribe to the DSA people. Like y'all don't even understand. I got my first thumbs down. Thank you. Thank you. It just lets me know I'm still in this game, So I appreciate you, the thumbs down person. Appreciate that. Let's get those thumbs up. So, because one thumbs down to 33 thumbs up, it's not even a blink in the ocean. It's like a drop in the ocean. Who cares? Welcome back, Luke. Hey, I'm glad to be back, Kodak Hamilton. The Lions beefed up their defensive line, which is great. But what about these Matthew Stafford problems? Do we have enough faith in him this year? That's from Sean Gamble. Man, I do. I do. I got a lot of faith in him. And the reason I have a lot of faith in him is this. To go into his 11th season and only have had a 100-yard rusher 12 times, it's a atrocity. It's horrible. Dak Prescott had 100-yard rushers in his first season 11 times, just in the first season. And granted, he had a better offensive line. He had Ezekiel Elliott. The point I'm trying to make is, how do you go 10 seasons and only have a 100-yard rusher 12 times? That is almost next to impossible. My faith in Matthew Stafford is so high. So if he don't perform, stay tuned. It's going to get real disrespectful. I'm just going to be honest about it. So Detroit's own Big Will is in the building. What up, though? Let's see. J-Mo says 6 wide receivers: Fulgham, Kenny G, Melvin, Danny, Powell, Curse. I'm still out on Curse, man, because I think they can get a little bit of money back if they get rid of him, but who knows at this point. It says, how many turnovers would the D have this year? If I had to do an over or under, it needs to be a lot. I'm going to put it that way. It needs to be a lot. I can't give a number because if I had to do an over under on, say, 20, I would go over. But it needs to be a lot. We need to get back to getting the ball out of their hands. Brian Ellis says, I am not an Andy Jones believer. I know, but they really like Andy Jones and Lacey. I don't know why. Nomus J says, welcome back. Welcome. Appreciate it, man. Nomus J, another DSA member. Make sure you subscribe to his channel. Risky Football Talk. Man, he says, what about Curse? Curse to me is one of those guys, when I look at his contract, is no security in it. Like when we signed Daniels, that's a contract that's guaranteeing that he's staying on this team. It's all type of secure. Like even if he don't perform, he's getting paid. He's staying on this team. When I look at Curse contract, I don't see none of that stuff. I don't see anything that lets me know that he's going to be secure. He's in here right now fighting for a roster spot, in my opinion, and it's based on what I see in his contract. Now, if for some reason somebody else don't step up and he's in, cool. I can live with that. But at the end of the day, they didn't do enough guaranteeing, in my opinion, for him to work. Motorola says, I think having Ragnar as center is going to do wonders. Watch. I do too, which is why I was so upset that they didn't do it off the back. And I know they didn't do it off the back because they was trying to make the case that what's the word I want to use? That Glasgow can do it. And I'm just like, nah, man. The guy was pretty decent at center. Let him keep playing center. You can take a center that high, which it wasn't like we was picking in the top 10. So I don't understand why it was like this shock to move him to the guard. But it was okay. It was a way to ease him in, and I get it. Let's see. I am not the hacker. What free agent and linebacker can take on one of our starting linebackers' job? Cough, cough. The Jones job. None. Not yet. I think it's going to be some people getting cut, though, who can take over that job. But right now, none. I see that there's a question from Motorola who says, nobody out there just yet. Mason Foster. I wouldn't touch Mason Foster. I like the Lions, but I'm also a Bucs fan and a Seahawks fan. So I watch those teams too. And I've watched Mason Foster a whole lot. He is not the guy you want at your linebacker. I'm sorry. He just isn't. He is not an upgrade from Jones. He's pretty much of the same. So I'll pass on that. Now, again, at 6 p.m. Eastern, I will be going on JT Sports to have a debate with him about our Detroit Lions. And we will need you to come over there and take a look at it so we can have y'all vote on who's the winner in this debate. So Elk Production says our wide receivers will be Kenny G, Jones Jr., Danny Duhart, and Fogum. I think that's how it's going to be too. I think Curse is going to be fighting for his life. Michael Mike says I was 11-5, but Mike Daniels make it 12-4. Okay, yeah. I mean, Mike Daniels come in. Here's the thing, people, and I'm doing that because Motorola said that I do it all the time, so I'm gonna do it anyway. But here's the thing, people. Mike Daniels brings two things to the team. The Packers got rid of the head coach. They got rid of the offensive coordinator. I don't remember hearing anything about the defensive coordinator leaving. So what does Mike Daniels bring to the team? Well, for me, I think Mike Daniels gives them an opportunity to get an inside look at what the Packers do best. What are some of those little things that tick? How can you get underneath there? What is some of Aaron Rodgers' tales? This is what he brings. He brings a real inside information, unlike what the Packers did or attempted to do with Michael Roberts. They got him a day or two after he just failed a physical with the New England Patriots, thinking that he's going to be able to provide some information. And this is why I knew that they were doing that, because you already had Jay Sternberger. You already have Jimmy Graham. You picked up Mercedes Lewis. Where does Michael Roberts fit in that room? He doesn't. He just doesn't. So that's how I'm looking at it. Now, I'm not the hacker says 16-0. Okay. George Morgan says Duhart to the practice squad, in my opinion. I wouldn't go there. Risky Football Talk says we have a top 3 defense. That is yet to be seen. I'd hate to give rankings out this early because they still got to go out there and do it. And I believe it was Hitman House who said he's sick and tired of the word potential, and I am too. I don't want to talk about potential. It's time to produce. You have the talent. Let it be done. I know that the offensive line still can be a weakness, but you know, with the run game, that should remedy a lot of these problems. Let me see. What else we got going on? It says, I think we have saved our cap till mid-season if we have injuries. We're going to have way more cap than that. They got to cut this 90-man roster down to 53. So you're going to get a lot of money back from there. It says, I did hear that Curse didn't look great out there. I didn't hear much about Curse, to be honest, and that's even more alarming. So food for thought. Annie Briggs says we're going to have a top 5 rushing attack this year. I pray we do, because if you got a top 5 rushing attack, guess what that means for the pass game? A pass game that includes tight ends now, a pass game that includes Kenny G and Marvin Jones, 2 good deep threats. Yeah. Top 5 would be great for me. Easy Little 313 says cornerback Melvin, guys, slipping on him. He's going to be a big addition to number 2 cornerback spot. Listen, Detroit's own Big Will brought that to my attention, and I was like, I heard him out, and he was like, yeah, he was this and this, and he said, go and look at the film. You're going to see that he was playing zone for the Raiders, but when he was doing good for the Colts and for the Colts, he was playing man. I wouldn't have watched, and sure enough, he was right, and that's when I changed my stance and said, yep, he's going to be our number 2 corner. Nomis J says Lions O-line will be center Ragnar, right guard Glasgow, right tackle Wagner, left guard Joe Dow. I don't know, but I can tell you this much: they get a pretty good penny for cutting Kenny Wiggins. That's some food for thought. They get a pretty good penny. So if Kenny Wiggins get cut, that's a lot of money coming their way. Mola Roden says Chris Warren just got cut by Raiders. Dude runs so hard. I would bring him in. Nah, you got to understand the room is set. The running back room is set as it should be. You don't want to, and you got to make sure you keep enough space for positions that you really want to stack the depth at. Like you want to stack the depth at linebacker and cornerbacks or DBs. You want to stack it there. The Lions general manager as well as the head coach have said many times we only carry 7 offensive linemen in the season that get dressed, 5 starters and 2 backups. So the 2 backups need to be able to play all of the positions: left guard, right guard, center, left tackle, right tackle. They're only taking 7. That's not my words. That's what our general manager says. Broken Lions says Lions going 12-4. I wouldn't be shocked. I got them going 11-5 and winning the division. That is my expectation. Snacks in my tummy. It says I hope Dow makes the starting job, but Bob Quinn should sign a guard. And I think he will. As people start to cut those rosters down to 53, I think he will. It says with a possible record of 13-3. You moving it on up. I ain't mad at you. It says, hey man, don't deny it. I'm not denying it. Greedy the Amazing says Ty Johnson is going to be the truth. I think he is too. I think he's going to give you the kick and punt return game. I think he's going to give you a change of pace back out the backfield. You can line him up at receiver, and he's going to be a problem for linebackers and the slot corners. So I think his speed with his athletic ability is going to be a huge problem for a lot of people. Now, I got 62 people in the chat, 39 thumbs up. Let's keep those thumbs up going. And again, at 6 o'clock, I will be going on JT Sports to talk a little Detroit Lions because, we're going to have a friendly debate, a classy debate where, is about just talking football. So James says, okay, then we'll have a top scoring defense. Oh, let me tell you something. If you go through and you look at the New England Patriots history in terms of their scoring defense, they've had success in scoring, but most of their success come from confusion and pressure. So if we can score, that's great, but I expect it to be a whole lot of confusion and pressure that sets it up for us. It says, did anyone see what happened to the Rams when they lost Gurley? The run game matters. Man, listen. That run game is so important because if most people talked about Julian Edelman and what he did in that Super Bowl, but I'm like, y'all forget it was like 3 minutes on the clock that Sony Michel ran out. Literally ran out. They ran out 3 minutes of clock. They had enough time to get the ball back with a chance to score, and they just ran the clock out by running the ball. That's what made that game so special to me. Even though it was low rated, that's what made that game special for me. The fact that you saw them do what needs to be done to win. I'm not the hacker says, did you hear about the Cardinals releasing their first round pick, Robert Nkemdiche? Can we get him? I don't want no parts of him. He was another one of those guys that I was telling people that was linked to the Lions. And I'm like, where's the pass rush moves? I keep trying to tell people I see details. I don't just look at the player stats. I see details. And he was one of those guys that I was so glad the Lions stayed away from because like a particular person, you know what? You know what? I'm going to do it just this one time. I'm going to do it just this one time because it's been a long time, people. So I'm going for it, all right? I'm going for it. Don't judge me. I'm just going to go for it, all right? The problem with Robert Nkemdiche that I have always saw was he had no pass rush. And he reminded me so much of a lot of the other players who were not good. And a player who reminded me of him who just got drafted this year, and yes, you guessed it, that player would be and I know y'all know who I'm finna say, but that player would be one Mr. Montez Sweat. In other words, I could probably kick him in the head because it's the details. But it really should boil down to the guy being able to do pass rush moves, and I didn't see that from him. So I don't want him nowhere near the Detroit Lions. Let's see. What we see? James Tansley says, Luke, are you going to get Madden 20? I was on the fence about it, but I'm going to buy it. But if it's terrible, this will be the last time I have it. I promise that. I'm not going to buy it again. I can't take it. They already got a bug in there where if you run a RPO out of the punt formation, the kicker looks like the next coming of Michael Vick. So I'm already seeing some things that's bothering me a little bit, but I will be getting it. Let me see. It says Melvin at the number 2 spot is going to be a huge improvement. I can see that. It says just turned on my phone, and yep, I am live, man. They gave my live back today. 1991 Matt Stack says, I believe Patricia is a players-friendly coach and is more respected than our beloved media thinks. Mike Daniels says so. Man, listen, this is what the one thing can't nobody take away from Matt Patricia. People are coming here for him. We can talk about Jim Caldwell. We could talk about Jim Schwartz. We could talk about Steve Mary, whoever you want to talk about as a head coach. We can talk about them. But people are coming here for Jim Schwartz. They're not coming here for nothing else but for Jim Schwartz. There's literally saying, like, Mike Daniels literally said he's a genius. I ain't coming for no other reason than Jim Schwartz. I've seen what he can do, how he sets things up. I'm a fan of his work. And it's not just him. People are coming here for that. Blue and Silver Phantom says, do you think Tease would suffer playing man coverage? If he's a cornerback, yeah. I cold-heartedly believe he should be a safety. People forget that Glover Quinn at corner was not good. He had some issues. And then they moved him to the safety spot, and it worked out. And I believe that the same thing Tease need to do. Richie says, I'm excited to see Ty Johnson. Me too. Ty Johnson is going to be a buzz stop if Zach Zenner are going to kill it. So John Martin says Ty Johnson is going to be a bust. Stop it. Zach Zenner is going to kill it. Okay, well, I think Ty gives you a little bit more versatility. Like I said, he does the punt. And it's Carl Campbell, Luke. What up, though? Big Mo, great point. Hey, I'm just pointing out. John Martin, you sound crazy. Ty Johnson would be solid. Let's see. Andrew says, time is ticking on the Lions. Our time is now and in a few years. The thing about building dynasties is this. If you go through the history and look at how dynasties were built, they all had things in common. They had long periods in most cases where they were down, and then they had significant moments that happened. So when the Dallas Cowboys started their dynasty, everybody said they was crazy because the head coach came in and did what? Traded their best asset for picks. They traded Herschel Walker, and they got a bunch of picks, and they came out and they did pretty okay. But the next year, they used a lot of those picks to maneuver around and build up, and it took off. Then you go and look at people like New England. When they built their dynasty, they brought in who? Bill Belichick. And Bill Belichick did what? He did a lot of the same things, traded people away, got picks, got people in to fit his system, and worked the system. Had a rough first start, but then after that, it picked up and it took off. So there is something to being able to take a step back in order to take 20 foot forward. So John Martin said there's plenty of fast guys that don't pan out. You ain't lying about that. I can name a few. I mean, but it's also like Devin Hester. He was brought in as a cornerback, but he's going to probably make the Hall of Fame as a kick and punt returner because that's how scary he was. And I believe that, excuse me, I believe that Ty Johnson can have that same impact. Micro Mike says, I'll buy it and we can do Luke G versus Micro Mike. Mike, I'm down for it, man. You know I'm always good for a good football conversation. Brian Ellis says, I bought 19 last year and was far from impressed. Yeah, I bought 19 and literally, usually I play Madden up until the new one come out, but with 19, I think I started playing that thing like 4-5 months into it. I was over. I went back to playing Ghost Recon Wildlands. I was like, this is terrible. It says probably going to skip this year unless I hear really good things. Well, I'm hearing good things, but I'm hearing much of the same. Not the hacker says, did you hear about Nev Lawson getting mossed by Antonio Brown? Bum. I mean, it's Antonio Brown, though. Let's be fair. It's Antonio Brown. That's like, if you get mossed by Moss, you can't say he's a bum. It's Moss. Like, you know, like if Calvin Johnson bodies somebody, it's Calvin Johnson. So I would be more impressed if they told me he was locking him down, but I don't expect him to keep Antonio Brown down. If anything, that would be a knock on Antonio Brown. Does anyone know when the NFL Network will cover the Lions camp? I believe it's supposed to be tomorrow. John Martin, Patricia, Bug Spray, what? Let me see. Let me go ahead. Jim Swartz. Let me see. People coming. It's just the beginning to Jim Swartz. You you fool loot. Okay. I'm not sure what that word. All right. Jones says Jay laughing about what up though? Welcome back, young man. Hey, appreciate it, C. Perry. Matt, you fool. Okay, there we go. All right, now I'm picking up what they're doing. All right, let me see. There's a lot going on, man. All right. Any other questions you want to ask me? Because I'm getting ready for my debate with JT Sports, man. I am excited to be back. I am going to be going live. I am going to be talking our Detroit Lions. I got videos coming out. But again, I do have a lot of stuff going on. It says, hey, Luke, do you think the 2016 we would have won the division with Matt Patricia instead of Kyle? Yep. Yep. Here's a fact. Kyle Well was here for 4 seasons. 4 seasons. Now, I know everybody want to talk about, but he made the playoffs. 4 seasons, and they've never had a 100-yard rusher. This is the same guy who had a chance to go undefeated on his way to the Super Bowl with the Colts, and he chose to rest his players and take a loss. This is the same guy that does that. I never liked the idea of having somebody who does not want to go for greatness. Greatness should always be on the table when you have a shot at it. It's a Detroit. We here. What up, though? Hashtag one pride. That's from Jay White. Support that. Adam says, but Madden 20 actually looks good. New animations, better graphics, plus improved features. Listen, they do a very good job of putting paint on a pig and telling you it's a woman. It said they covered the Lions today for about 15 seconds. That was it. They generally are. You know, if it's not much to talk about and they don't really care for it, that's what happens. It says, Luke, when you added me on PS4 and Madden comes out, we got to play some games. Adam, I got you. I got you. It's just listen, this is the thing. To be truthful with you, one of the reasons why I'm losing a lot of time is I'm expecting a new baby. And so I'm going to have 2 Luke G sons. I'm going to have my oldest boy, I'm going to have a young boy. So that is taking a lot of my time up. I don't miss no appointments for my child. So that between work and just life has gotten me away from it. So yeah, I'm going to be doing just that. So that's what it is, man. So yeah, Big Mo says congrats, thanks, appreciate it. Yeah, so me having a new baby is taking a lot of time away. It says the Lions in Madden 20 is a 74. Last time I checked, if you go through and do the breakdown, I think it was like they overall was supposed to be like around the 80. But they still haven't did some of the updates apparently. 1991 Max Stash says congrats, fam. Thank you, appreciate it. It said they're going to play ball, yes, but I don't want them playing until high school. It was something that my dad did with me. He didn't let me play until high school, but except for that one little league game and that girl knocked me out. And then I think he kind of was like, yo, we might want to rethink this. You know, when that girl laid that wood to me, his spirits kind of was a little broke. So I don't know. But yeah, I want them to play. I'm not a hacker. Thank you. James Tansley, thank you. Jay White, thank you. James Sharp, thank you. The Big Take, what up, though? Ted Cheney, congrats and welcome back. Thank you. Andrew, yep, family always comes first. Man, listen, if you're not a family first person, man, I'm going to pray for you. Adam says 78, I think, but on no roster moves have been made. No, they're not going to upgrade it yet. They're going to try to wait to that. You're going to get your first updated roster after some major moves happen. Like maybe if somehow Jadeveon Clowney get traded somewhere, they'll update the roster then. But until then, you're not going to get it until that very first week before they cut the 53-man roster down. Ted Cheney says, congratulations. Thank you. Risky says, what about a Warrior? Man, I want a Warrior to get more playing time, but we're going to see who starts this first game on August 8th. That's going to tell me everything I need to know. Rich Law says, congrats. I appreciate it. Thank you. Elk Production says, congrats, man. Thank you. Jay White says, yeah, my nephew 5 right now, but he's now playing tackle until high school. Yeah, I mean, that's how you got to do it, man. You put them in the flag football and you don't let them do any tackling or anything until high school so they can get used to it. Probably after the preseason. It says he does flag. It says peace out, buddy. Good stuff. Appreciate it, bug spray. All right. So Amani made a splash in camp today. Again, y'all gonna find out I'm not a big fan of hearing about camp stories. I'm about putting the product on the field. So I'll look at those preseason games and all the games throughout the years, and I'll make my assessments off of that. It says, Lou G is the man. So happy you're back. Me too, Mike, man. Appreciate it. Again, fellas, I'm getting ready to go over to JT Sports. Please make sure you go over there. Check it out. We're getting ready to have a friendly debate. He challenged me. I need to show up. And if I lose, then I lose. If I win, then I win. But we've had numerous of conversations, and this is going to be a good one. He flat out said the same thing I said, which is, I know you know your stuff, so I got to make sure I come super prepared, and I am prepared. So let's see what we got going on. It says I played flag football and didn't play tackle till last year. Hey, I can see that, man. That's how you want to do it. It keeps your body preserved, and it teaches you how to move within space. People think it's just about being able to get in and out of stuff, but it teaches you how to move within space. You're trying to move your body in ways where they can't grab that flag. So that's what you do. Mom and dad is too worried about injuries. Listen, I was lucky enough to play and never have a concussion. But I've broken my leg. I've broken my collarbone. I've broken all the bones in my hand. I've fractured my forearm. So, but never had a concussion. So that's a good thing. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to end it here. I am excited. I got so much more coming. Please stay tuned. Now that my live is back on, it's going to get going. I got 3 thumbs down. Thank you, gentlemen or women or whatever you are, for the 3 thumbs down. I appreciate that. I got 44 thumbs up. I appreciate the 44 who do appreciate what I do. And, it is what it is. But Luke has live back, and Luke is about to have it go down. Hit those likes if you can. Any more questions before I head out really quick? Because I know I got a little bit of time, but I can give you a heads up. We're gonna be talking about the Lions quarterback and a few other things, so it's gonna be good. It says gotta go watch this other Luke G. yeah, it's finna be an interesting debate. Adam says, I broke 2 fingers, my wrist, and toe. Man, my meniscus in 3 years of playing, but haven't gotten injured yet this year. Well, we're going to make sure you walk out with no scars. What's the channel? The channel is JT Sports. If you go to the community page, you can see the message posted up there where it says JT Sports, and it's got like a blue logo on there. You should definitely check it out, man. I wonder if I can put it in the chat some kind of way. Let me see. Hold on. I might be able to put it in the chat for you, and that will help. Excuse me. So, but yeah, we're going to be over there having a debate. And like I said, man, the dude's got an amazing channel, man. He knows his stuff. If you watch the DSA, he called in one day and he went full Super Saiyan on making this point. So I know I got to come correct and I got to come ready. So trust and believe I am, because once he told me what he wanted to debate me on, I was like, all right. Like, okay. And he already got it up for to set the reminder. So that's the best part about it, man. Like I said, he's a great content maker. Somebody that, I don't even think get enough love like he should, but we're going to make sure he get it today, people. So let me make sure I get this link right here, and I'll put it right here in the chat. All right. Let me see. Boom. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I don't want to send y'all to the wrong people. All right, here we go. That is JT Sports link right there. So I'll just keep posting it. Data boy, what up though? Buffed up. Ain't nobody sleeping on the Lions. We're the Lions. Yeah, I hear that. Buffed up say, yo, what's hopping? What's popping? What's popping then? What's going on, man? I was wondering where you was at, man. So make sure you hit that thumbs up for me, man. Get them thumbs up. Again, if you're looking for the channel where I'm going to be debating about the Lions, it's on JT Sports. So the link is here for everybody to see. It says congrats on getting to come up. Hey, appreciate it. And make sure y'all tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to check me out if they want to get the most pure, rawest, nothing but Detroit Lions and football talk. With that being said, I got to go prepare for my debate. Man, much love to you all, and blessings, man. With that being said, I leave you with this great piece of advice. Don't be no chump. Please, please do your research.